Yeah, you know what? That's exactly. He finally fell. A lot of guys have seen him get away with a lot of almost crashes, and I wonder what that's going to do to him, and I wonder if he's going to hold back just a touch. So you see he and McGrath lined up with Michael Byrne right between them.
The board is up. It should turn sideways any second now. It is sideways. We're revving up, and we're getting ready to see if Carmichael can win his 8th straight, or will someone else break the string? Tim Ferry, I believe, got the SMX.com Whole Shot Award, but it says for less, fighting it out with Kevin Windham. Could Kevin Windham make this a breakthrough race here tonight? Desperately needing a win.
He desperately needed a whole shot. He's got luck there to push him. McGrath finally beats Carmichael and Larago off the line, and he did a little stuff to Ferry in that first lap. He could not afford to be behind Ferry like he's been so many times this year.
One of the factors is, can Carmichael get by Ferry quicker than Yates McGrath? Carmichael just does, and the Wolves gets by Tim Ferry.
That was aggressive. He had to get in there and just make that happen. He muscled his way by. See, McGrath pulls off one of those tearaways, clears that vision a little bit more, gets ready to go to work.
What an interesting order we've got right now. You see Jeremy McGrath in 3rd place. Windham and Lusk in front of him, and Carmichael right behind him, with Ferry coming up on Carmichael.
See Carmichael not wanting to follow McGrath through that corner, and not wanting to open the door either for Tim Ferry back there, because he will come in there and mess with these top guys. Ferry hasn't got a race win, but he's pretty comfortable riding around this kind of company now.
Our focus all season long has been Ricky Carmichael versus Jeremy McGrath. But right now, Ezra Lusk and Kevin Windham, 2 former Supercross winners, are out in front.
And Windham is starting to pull away. And as soon as that happens, forget about it. When this guy's on, no one can touch him. I think his fitness has been improving, and I talked to Roger DeCoster after the race last week, and he goes, I don't think he really wanted to say what's been going on over there, but he just told me, you know what, I think Windham's going to come around, and I'm starting to see that right now.
Absolutely. DeCoster believes he'll win one before the season's over.
Look at McGrath.
McGrath makes the pass on left, so does Ricky Carmichael.
Well, Windham's going to feel some heat now, and that'll be the story. If he can hold these guys off, well, Roger DeCoster's the man for being able to turn him around, because he's never been able to hold off this kind of pressure. He's come from behind, but he's never holding these guys off when they've gotten great starts.
He's averaging a 5.5 finish. And here's a guy who has 6 Supercross wins.
Look at the different lines, McGrath and Carmichael. These guys are crisscrossing all over the place. They could get together. Look at that. Beautiful. McGrath lays it over and cuts down the inside. Carmichael goes to the outside. Different lines here again.
McGrath holding on to the edge.
Lusk's got to be good back there in 4th. Oh, Jesus, pace is fast. These guys have really picked it up already. All the top 3 guys are running 56s.
Windham in 1st. McGrath a second behind. Carmichael 2 behind, and Lusk is only 3 seconds behind. Davey.
Well, I got to tell you guys something. Ricky Carmichael doesn't like to make excuses, but before the race, we found out RC's got a cold, and he said it's been affecting him all day. He doesn't like to make excuses. McGrath doesn't need an excuse, but just keep it in mind toward the lake going to this race.
And Carmichael is on the back rubber and makes the pass on McGrath. Incredible racing now as McGrath tries to come back on Ricky.
Look at McGrath, so quick to go. Okay, I know Ricky's been taking that inside. He's probably going to go there. Made the switch.
Here comes McGrath.
McGrath does not like to ride dirty, Art. He doesn't want it done to him, but it just got done to him. And I think he's not too worried about getting back in there and doing it back, but he's got to stay close enough.
He's got to keep the pressure on Ricky Carmichael as they go through those cavernous woods.
Now, here's something to keep in mind. What Davey was saying about Ricky having a cold. His ears are a little bit plugged. That affects your equilibrium. 1985, I was leading the main event. 3 laps to go. I couldn't tell. My bike slipped into neutral in the corner. Fell over. Lost the race. Finished 4th. That could be something to think about down the stretch here as Ricky tries to close the gap on Wyndham.
Kevin Wyndham out in front, holding on to a lead, but Ricky Carmichael is close. It's usually this time of the year that Wyndham starts stringing podiums and gaining wins. He finished last season with 5 consecutive podiums, including his 6th Supercross victory of his career. But can he hold off the hottest rider in Supercross?
Well, these guys are starting to get away from Jeremy a little bit, but once Ricky gets close enough to Kevin, they're going to start having to block each other slightly unless Ricky can get by with a mistake or something, and that'll allow McGrath to get right back up on these guys.
We're going to go to a break, but right now, Ricky Carmichael takes the lead. Ricky Carmichael with a brilliant move. Can Wyndham come back on him right now? Oh, this is a great race.
I had no idea that Kevin was going to leave the door that open. Ricky, that was no problem. He went right to the inside. I don't think Kevin realized he was that close to him.
They've got a lapper in front of it. Here comes Wyndham, but Ricky's got the slingshot effect. Well, the order changes by the second, but we've got to take a break. If anything happens, we'll have the replay when we get back. Still has just dominated this race. Came to Houston with a bad cold. He crashed in qualifying. After a not-so-good start behind McGrath, Lustig, Wyndham, he passed them all. Here's another look.
Coming up on Jeremy right here. Jeremy's going to take the best line, thinking, well, I got a little bit of a cushion over Ricky. Bam, block pass. Look how surprised Jeremy was. Now watch this. Wyndham's going, okay, I got a little cushion. I'll go out here and use this outside line. That's been working. Uh-oh. Where did he come from? Ricky is making his luck, though. He's close enough to these guys, and he catches them so fast, he catches them off guard, and they make mistakes.
It doesn't seem like, David, he's riding on the edge over the envelope like he has in past races either.
No, he's done a couple little squirrely things, but that was getting through lap riders. And I think he needed to push it at those times to try to get that pack of lap riders between himself and this battle for second, and it worked. The gap widened up. It looked like he got hung up as much as these guys did, but apparently these guys got hung up a little bit more.
The battle right now is going on for second place here, David. Look at this. Kevin Wyndham, Jeremy McGrath, and Ezra Lust. Bang, bang, bang.
This is a great battle for second, but as these guys start battling with each other, the pace will slow slightly here and there because they have to protect their lines, and Ricky's just smoking these guys. I mean, it's just faster, plain faster than they are.
Jeremy McGrath trying to make a move on Kevin Wyndham for second place. Jeremy's coming off one of his best drives of the season, self-admitted.
Yeah, and he looks good here, but just not good enough.
He got behind Villeman and Ferry at the start last week in Minneapolis. Wasn't until he passed Ferry on lap 7 and endured a back-and-forth battle with Lust before Lust went down that he moved into second place.
And look at Ricky. Already almost a 5-second lead over these guys. I mean, we're talking about Wyndham on a night when he was riding his best. McGrath, Lust. It's unbelievable. I can't believe what I'm seeing, Art. He's in another level.
Carmichael looking to extend his win streak. It's already the second longest consecutive win streak in the history of the sport. Here comes McGrath. Fishtailing. He gets by Wyndham. Jeremy McGrath using that aggressive move just like he did last week. There's no question McGrath wants to win races.
Second's not going to help him close do anything in terms of the title, but you know, 11 out of 20 laps is a long ways to go. And if Jeremy wanted to put pressure on Ricky, now he's got clear sailing up to him. He was able to jump a couple of things that he wasn't able to jump when he was behind Kevin. Maybe that will enable him to close the gap. He's already starting to pull away slightly.
So as Ricky Carmichael leads another lap, who came into this race leading 98 of the last 100 laps, he's back out in front. We'll be right back. the 250 Supercross main event. Ricky Carmichael is checked out. Mike LaRocco, number 5 of the M12 Honda, while we were away, moved in.
Comes LaRocco into the corner just before the whoop section. Ezra gets a little slick spot as he's exiting the corner right there. Lost the front wheel and just gave it to LaRocco. He could feel that pressure, and he was pushing out of that corner to get a good run at the whoops. I'll tell you who's going to feel that pressure next. Ricky doesn't feel much out front. He's got a pretty good lead right now. But McGrath in second. It's not solid yet. LaRocco's still gaining on him. He doesn't give up till the race is over. He will continue to gain on McGrath.
Number 4, Ricky Carmichael. You know, David, his dominance this year has got me thinking that what was once maybe thought impossible or unapproachable is within a reality right now. That Jeremy McGrath's career record of 72 victories with such dominance, Ricky Carmichael might be able to approach that record. The big key for McGrath is he's never missed a Supercross race because of injury.
He's been pretty solid over the years, but look at Ricky. The wins he's already strung together in a very difficult year. And he's 21. He's got a long way. He's just getting started. But the thing that the record that I'm thinking it's very possible is the streak that McGrath put together, that incredible year in '96. Ricky could tie that this year if he wins the rest of the race.
McGrath really has his hands full in the upper right with number 5 of Mike LaRocco, who's putting the pressure on now for second place. Ricky Carmichael is riding smoothly. He's out in front. But LaRocco, with 2 laps to go, is putting some heat on McGrath. Ricky has a chance to tie 14 straight wins set by Jeremy McGrath, or 13 straight wins. He also has a chance to tie 14 wins in a season. However, you got to go back to Babe Ruth and Roger Maris for the asterisk. He's got one more race to do it in. Here's the battle on for second place. Mike LaRocco.
Boy, Jeremy pushed it through that corner. He got up a little bit high. The front wheel got into the loose stuff. And he just powered his way out of it, was still able to jump up on that plateau. He feels the pressure, and he is riding a little bit on the edge right now to preserve second place. He needs it for his confidence. Ricky's ruined his confidence tonight. He needs to beat everybody else, though.
The final lap is underway. Ricky Carmichael would be only 2 wins away from becoming the second winningest active rider now.
That last time they went to Anaheim Stadium, Ricky came from behind. That was the most impressive race I've seen him ride so far in the season because of the way he won it. He's doing that again here tonight. This is on par with that type of victory, having to come from behind, having to do it with a little bit of a cold. It's impressive. I mean, he just outclassed these guys tonight.
RC only moments away from winning his 9th series 8 straight. He would tie Brock Glover on the all-time Supercross list with his 10th victory, and there's the checkered flag. RC has done it again. McGrath pulls off the charging Mike LaRocco for second. Ricky gets with Davey when we return.